Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to listen to the story The Gift After 12 Years, Part 2. This is the continuation of Part 1. So if you haven't watched the Part 1 story, I have given the link in the description box. So please watch the Part 1 story and then come back to the story. Only then you can understand better. And we are also going to learn a lot of idioms, meanings with examples in this story. We have used a lots of idioms in this story, so it will be a better thing to improve your English communication skills. So let's get started. What happened in Sita's life? Sita is the main character in the story. Some tragedy happened in her life. What's the tragedy? What tragedy shook Sita's life? Okay, so that's what we are going to learn in this story. Life seemed to be finally falling into place for Sita. After years of hardship, she felt that better days were just around the corner. But fate had a different plan. One day, Ramu fell ill. At first, everyone thought it was just a minor health issue. They believed he would soon be back on his feet. However, as days passed, his condition grew worse. What seemed like a small problem slowly turned into a mountain to climb. Before long, Ramu became bedridden. One evening, he called Sita to his side. She sat beside him, holding back her tears. Little did she know that those would be the last words she would ever hear from her husband. With a weak voice, Ramu said, Sita, take good care of our child. Never place her future in someone else's hands. Teach her to stand on her own 2 feet. No matter how many obstacles come your way, don't throw in the towel. Believe you can and you will. Sita nodded silently as tears rolled down her cheeks. Moments later, Ramu breathed his last. In the blink of an eye, Sita's world came crashing down. She was completely shattered. The man who had once stood by her side, despite all his flaws, was gone forever. As if losing her husband was not enough, people soon started pointing fingers again. The child is unlucky. Ever since the child was born, nothing has gone right. The father's death is because of the child. Their words cut Sita like a knife. Instead of offering a shoulder to cry on, they added fuel to the fire. Everyone seemed to have advice for her. Leave Ambujam Achi with her daughter. Go back to your parents' house. You cannot raise a child alone. Life is too difficult for a young widow. But Sita remembered her husband's final words. His voice kept ringing in her ears. Don't throw in the towel. Stand on your own feet. Believe you can and you will. At that very moment, she made up her mind. She would not depend on anyone. She would raise her child on her own. She would honor the promise she had silently made to her husband. The only person standing by her side was Ambujam Achi. Together, they decided to weather the storm. Life, however, was far from easy. Ramu had left behind several debts. Soon, creditors began knocking at her door. Some came politely, others demanded their money without showing any sympathy. Every day seemed to bring a new challenge. To make matters worse, society looked at her differently now. Some people treated her with pity, others looked down on her, a few even tried to take advantage of her situation. But Sita was no pushover. She faced every challenge head on. Whenever she looked at her little daughter, she found a new reason to fight. The child's tiny smile became her stress buster. The child's innocent eyes became her source of strength. The child became the light at the end of the tunnel. There were moments when she was at the end of her rope. There were nights when she cried herself to sleep. There were days when she felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. Yet she refused to give up. Slowly, Sita began rebuilding her life one day at a time. She worked harder than ever before. She burned the candle at both ends to provide food, education, and a better future for her daughter. Through every struggle, she held on one thing: faith. Every night she folded her hands and prayed. She prayed for strength. She prayed for guidance. She prayed for a miracle. And sometimes, when life seems darkest, miracles arrive in unexpected ways. Here we stop the story. The story will be continued. And what's the miracle happened in her life? What God has sent to Sita? Is it something or a person? Let's continue in the next story. Now we are going to learn the idioms used in this story. Idioms used in the story. So learn the idioms, understand the idioms, and use the idioms every day. So first one is back on his feet. So what do you mean by back on his feet? The meaning is to recover from an illness or a difficult situation. To recover from an illness or a difficult situation. Example, after 2 months in the hospital, Ravi was finally back on his feet. In the story, the line is everyone thought Ramu would soon be back on his feet. It means Ramu would soon be recovered after his illness. Okay. Second one, a mountain to climb. It means a very difficult challenge. Example, learning a new language may seem like a mountain to climb at first. Learning a new language may seem like a mountain to climb at first. But in the story, Ramu's illness slowly became a mountain to climb for the family. In the blink of an eye, very quickly, in a moment. The meaning of the idiom is very quickly, in a moment. Example, the years passed in the blink of an eye. In the story, in the blink of an eye, Sita's life changed after Ramu's death. Next one, add fuel to the fire means to make a bad situation even worse. Example, his rude comments added fuel to the fire during the argument. In the story, instead of comforting Sita, people blamed the child and added fuel to the fire. Fuel to the fire in the sense making the bad situation, even worse. Next, make up one's mind means to make a firm decision. See, most of us are very poor in making a decision, right? Example, I have made up my mind to improve my English this year. So, every one of you to make up your mind to make your English improve this year. In the story, Sita made up her mind to raise her child on her own. So, idioms make our English colorful and expressive. Learn them, use them, and make your language strong. Let's move on to the next set of idioms. Next one, weather the storm. It means to survive a difficult period successfully. Example, the company managed to weather the storm during the financial crisis. In the story, Sita and Ammujam Achi decided to weather the storm together. Next one, at the end of one's rope. It means completely exhausted, frustrated, or out of patience. After working continuously for weeks, she was at the end of her rope. In the story, there were times when Sita felt she was at the end of her rope. It means she was completely exhausted, frustrated. Okay, so she started giving up her hope. Okay, next one, carry the weight of the world on one's shoulders, meaning to feel responsible for many problems and burdens. Example, as the eldest son, he felt he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. In the story, Sita carried the weight of the world on her shoulders after her husband's death. Next one, light at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel, meaning a sign that a difficult situation will soon improve. A sign that a difficult situation will soon improve. Example, after years of hard work, she finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. In the story, her daughter became the light at the end of the tunnel. Next one, burn the candle at both ends, meaning to work very hard without getting enough rest. To work very hard without getting enough rest. Burn the candle at both ends. Example, she burned the candle at both ends while preparing for her exams. In the story, Sita burned the candle at both ends to support her family. Next one, stand on one's own 2 feet. Stand on one's own 2 feet, meaning to be independent and self reliant. Example, parents should teach their children to stand on their own 2 feet. We should say, right, stand on your own legs. So that's the idiom. In the story, Ramu wanted his daughter to stand on her own 2 feet. Next one, throw in the towel, meaning to give up or quit. Example, even after many failures, he refused to throw in the towel. In the story, Ramu advised Sita never to throw in the towel no matter what happened. A bonus idiom is for you, heart of gold, meaning a very kind and generous nature. Example, my grandmother has a heart of gold and always helps others. In the story, although Ramu had many flaws, he had a heart of gold. And dear learners, a closing message for you all. Idioms make our English more natural, expressive, and powerful. The best way to learn idioms is not just by memorizing them, but by seeing them in stories and using them in real life conversation. So learn them, understand them, use them confidently. Keep learning, keep speaking, keep growing. Knowledge becomes power only when it is put into practice. So I request every one of you to practice at least one idiom a day so that your English will be transformed in a greater way in the coming future. So see you in the next story. Happy learning. Thank you everyone.